Hey guys, I'm Jacob. You're watching the Preppers Bunker Outdoors. Today I want to talk to you about real IDs, how you probably already have one, and how I think it's a bad deal for the near future of freedom in America. Before I jump all the way into that, you can support this channel by looking at the description box below. I personally have my website and business selling rifle slings at Beach and Tactical and baldric slings, as well as knives at Exodus Knife and Tool. I am affiliated with Brownells, Palmetto State Armory, and Primary Arms, so if you want to place orders with them, you can help this channel. It won't cost you a cent extra, and I greatly appreciate it. And I also have a Patreon and social media links. All of those will be in the description box below. So, real IDs. Dax is trying to get all of my attention right now. If you live in a few states, one of them being Kentucky, it's not mandated that you have to have a real ID yet. However, I think we just got an extension to sometime next year, I hope. So if you're not familiar, and you probably already have it in most states, the real ID is supposed to be like a passport. It's a new ID, and they haven't really explained how it's different than the old driver's license. By the way, that's what this is. This is a driver's license. The real ID is a replacement driver's license. So they're like, it's like a passport, but it's not. It's not a passport. You can't go to other countries for it. What they want is they want for you to have a passport to travel in between states. So once all the states have all of the real IDs that they need, you will not be able to fly without a real ID. Why haven't they told us what the real ID does that a normal driver's license doesn't? They say it's more secure. They don't care about that. They're giving illegal immigrants IDs in California and probably in other states. They don't give a crap about security. Freaking... Do you really think that they're doing real IDs so that 20-year-olds can't get a fake one and go into the bar? You think that at the bar now they're going to change it to where they have a scanner and scan every person? Nothing's going to change with that. So here's what I think it is. The real ID is going to be your vaccination card. It won't defy your HIPAA. You don't have to tell anybody anything. They're not demanding any information of you. It's just either you are safe to travel or you're not. And I love that I always, especially in college, get the argument that travel is not a constitutionally protected right. So you're telling me that in a modern globalized economy, in the modern world, that you are not hindering my pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness by limiting my ability to travel? You're telling me that I can live and that my rights will be intact if I can't drive my car? Are you a freaking absolute moron to believe that travel is a privilege? To believe that people own the land that we are on and you can't travel on it on the roads that you're paying for unless what? Just one more criteria, guys. Just one more requirement. Bullcrap. However, we are being prepared for the mark of the beast. A lot of good ideas for what that's going to be. They're all going to be wrong. If you have an idea of what it is right now, you're wrong. I have ideas for what it is right now. I'm wrong. If it were possible, even the elect will be deceived. Number one, it's not possible. Number two, it will be so tricky that if it were possible, it would happen. So without divine intervention, you will be tricked. So no, it's not a microchip. It's probably not a doggone vaccine. What the crap ever. However, whatever it is, you are being prepared for it. So pretty soon, the options will be vaccinated or be Amish. That's the real ID. Almost all of you already have it. I don't know what I'm going to do without it. Everybody's going to say, "Oh, come on, just get it. Just get it." I mean, don't be a pain in the butt. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a small inconvenience, tiny inconvenience. Who even cares? You already have a driver's license. You already have a social security card. You already have all of these other things. What's the big deal? Everybody right now who's complaining about vaccination papers and acting like that's their hill to die on, 99.999% of them already have a real ID or they're getting it. They rolled it out with no reason that made sense to roll it out because they knew all of this was coming. And that's the problem with all of the people who put the blame on Biden or put the blame on Trump or don't put the blame on Biden or don't put the blame on Trump. Coronavirus was funded with taxpayer dollars, was set up by our government, if you've got a logical brain, you'd probably come to the consensus released by our government. Trump admitted that it was our government, of course, simultaneously denying that he had anything to do with it. You're looking at puppets, and you're looking at which puppet to blame or not to blame, and that's the point. So a lot of these laws that aren't enforced are rolled out 10 years ahead of time for a future plan. This real ID makes no freaking sense whatsoever if you're the normal livestock sheeple just going along your life, unless you think ahead and unless you look at what's happening, because this has been rolling out since before the coronavirus. I was pissed off about this before the coronavirus. And now guess what? They're going to restrict the dog piss out of you, destroy your livelihood. Oh, but that doesn't infringe on your rights. That doesn't infringe on your God-given rights. You have no right to travel. You have no right to drive a car. You have no right to fly a plane. Freaking kill yourself. I better edit that out or bleep it or something, but what the crap. It's just, look, we have people whose eyes are not closed to logic outside of salvation at this point, to some degree. We will see less and less of that as time goes on. So, as Christians, it's only going to get worse. And people like me are going to be banging our heads against the wall trying to show people what is so blatantly obvious, so brutally clear and obvious, and it will be impossible for people to understand it. Like saying the sky is blue and they just can't freaking see it. And that's where we're going. And there are hordes of Christians who can't understand it, Christians, who just go along with everybody else and still spend all of their money at Target and Starbucks or whatever else they want to do. It's a good example of why there's going to be a great falling away. We're going to have more and more fall away until the switch is flipped. And at that moment, where there are repercussions specifically for being a Christian, there will be a great falling away. The path is narrow. I would say a 99% falling away. Christianity will no longer be an American norm. It will no longer be a heritage or cultural norm or any of that crap. And all the people who that is their idea of Christianity will instantly no longer claim to be a Christian. So no wonder we've got so many freaking people who claim to be a Christian who are freaking lost in the sauce. It's because they're not Christians. Most likely. I'm not talking about anybody specific. But as a whole, it's a freaking fact. A freaking Bible-based fact. So, that's where we're headed. That's the real ID. And Christians will get the real ID, because if you don't get the real ID, you won't be able to legally travel. People say, I can't stop shopping at Target, they have the stuff that I like. I can't stop shopping at Starbucks, they have the stuff that I like. I can't stop buying Benchmade knives, they have the knives that I like. I can't stop drinking Black Rifle coffee. They make the coffee that I like. But guess what? If you're a Christian, you have to give up everything. Maybe you should start practicing now, because when the time comes to pick up your cross and follow Christ or go to hell, 99% of you are going to pick going to hell so long as you can preserve your comfortable little life right now. And that's what we're seeing happening. That's what we are stacking the cards up for right freaking now. So, that's all I got. I hope that you have a blessed day. Talk to you in the comment section below. If you liked this video, look through the comments. There's going to be morons down there. Start a fight with them. It'll help the channel. Give it a thumbs down. Freaking, you know, do my job for me, because it gets kind of old seeing so many just stupid comments and replying to them. And sometimes when other people reply to the stupid comments, I feel like I don't have to jump in, and I'm like, yeah, get them. All right, talk to you later.